Today I am announcing that we are going to move up the previously scheduled April break for our K through 12 public schools to next week. K through 12 public schools were scheduled to take off a week in April. Instead, we're moving that spring break to next week. Over the course of next week, the schools will be working with Rhode Island's Department of Transportation on distance learning plans in the event that after next week, we need to continue with the distance learning program. I want to emphasize we're taking this a day at a time and a week at a time. So the measure for today is no school next week. Teachers, principals, superintendents work next week to prepare distance learning plans so that in the event we need that in the weeks to come, we'll be prepared. I want to take a second to talk to teachers. First, I'd like to thank teachers. By the way, not just teachers, educators, school nurses are among the heroes in this. We're asking you for sacrifices here, and I know that. A lot of you have plans to go away in April. We're asking you next week to stay home, to keep your kids home with you, and to be available, to talk to the principal, to talk to school leaders, to talk to each other in order to get the planning in place that's necessary to do distance learning. That's a sacrifice. It's important to do for the good of Rhode Island, for our public health, and for our kids. I want to acknowledge it and I want to thank you. And for that matter, I want to thank all Rhode Islanders whose lives are incredibly disrupted right now. And a special thank you to, as Dr. Alexander Scott says, the unsung heroes, those in quarantine. Closing school for a week now will allow us not only to slow the spread of the virus, but it'll also allow us to get organized and put plans in place. Additional cleaning, additional protocols, and as I said, plans for distance learning.